So excited about it. I recently purchased the Vortex user guide, and I've been practicing and it feels great. And I've seen certain things change in my life, but I have one particular area that I still feel uncertain about. Specifically, that's relationship. I am in a relationship right now with a wonderful woman that I can tell that loves me. But I feel like an actor playing a part versus that good, positive, pure feeling that of love. It's almost, I don't feel the love I think I should. So I guess what I'm trying to find out is, because I know that everything is possible, do I follow the feeling of, I guess, my inner being and walk away from the relationship, or do I make an attempt to change it and stay because things are going well? The traditional sense of we bought the house, the car, the family is going okay, and all those things are going well, but I still don't feel the way that I think I should. So I guess, like I said, I'm trying to find out, should I do the work and write the positive aspect down and keep trying to change it, or should I just listen now and leave?
Well, your question is perfectly experienced and perfectly articulated to fit right into this discussion right where we are. So just relax and feel the perfection of this co-creation, because not only are you going to find your place, but in the discussion that you are presenting here, everyone's going to understand what we just said for the last few minutes much more clearly. As you are interacting with another, it was really interesting to hear your words. They were carefully chosen and brilliantly spoken. Because when you said you feel like an actor that is playing a part, meaning you know how you're supposed to feel, and so you're trying to conjure the images and conjure the experience that causes you to feel that way. We want to have this discussion from inside the discussion that we had earlier, that what you're really wanting to do is build this more general basis that then is a grid that will be filled in with details. Where what you've done is what most people do. You filled the details in first, expecting the details then to create the grid. It's like most people say, I'll do that so that I can feel this way. And when you get too much of that doing done, without having built that emotional basis, then it's just a lot of doing happening around you, but it doesn't feel real, which is exactly what you were describing. Well, what the law-based, spiritual-based reason for that is that almost all of you are trained by your parents and by society and by your teachers and even by your lovers that their response to you should matter to you more than anything else. So they train you, well-meaning, but still, they train you that if you behave in a way that doesn't please them, then they let you know it. And if you behave in a way that does please them, then they let you know that. But it doesn't let you build your grid because you're working on theirs all the time. In other words, you're doing everything you can to keep mama happy, or to keep lover happy, or to keep the government happy, or to keep your employer happy. But you've started in the specifics and you've left out the general, so to speak. As you are source energy before you come into this body, and a part of you comes into this physical body, and you explore the details, and you know what you don't want, and you know what you do want, and you launch these rockets of desire. The source energy part of you continues to be the expanded vibrational version of what life is calling through you. And over time, this non-physical part of you expands often into a higher frequency than you allow yourself to go to. And so there's this vibrational rift between you and you that equals how you feel. Now, when you close it, you feel love. When you widen it, you don't. When you close it, you feel secure. When you widen it, you feel insecure. Well, most people aren't aware of this. They're not tending to this. They're tending to this. How can I make her happy? What can I do for her? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Because I'm getting my feedback from your response to me instead of getting my feedback from your response to me, you see. So that's why it can go along fine. Everything can look like it's doing good. You're jumping through the hoops in all the right ways. You're reasonably happy, but you feel this emptiness because you're not tending to this. So we've been talking about this for a long time. Today we're talking about it in a new framework, in a new way of understanding it. We're saying you want to go so general that you allow yourself to connect to the source within you. And it is only when you are in alignment, completely in alignment with who you are, that you can then be out there. Oh, let's start again. So here you are, walking around with your lover, having life experience, living in your house, driving your vehicles, having your experience with children. In other words, you're out here on the leading edge, having all of that. And the source within you is out there, having those experiences with you. But there is a disconnect. You're not allowing yourself to feel fully all that source feels because you haven't been tuning yourself consciously to the feeling of source. You've been tuning yourself consciously to the feeling of manifestations, to the feeling of conversations with other humans. Is this making some sense to you? In other words, looking for love in all the wrong places. And what we mean by that is, if you're looking for the love before you've found the base connection with your own emotional connection to your source, then it will always feel like there's something missing. You could leave that relationship and go somewhere else, and you might temporarily feel a little enlivened with new things that might be serving as catalysts to connect you more with your inner being initially. But usually, different faces, different places, but you end up feeling pretty much the same way. It's so much better to stay right where you are and do what you're really reaching for, which is connecting to the true love that is you, so that the true love that is you can be present in the car, in the house, in the bed, in the family, in the life.
I think you answered the question. I think what I wanted to get at more was, do I tend to, like you said, me connecting with me? Is my issue the disconnect between me or the disconnect between us?
You.
Almost is it? I was thinking that she was the cause, or the relationship was the reason I didn't feel like I was supposed to.
Almost everybody feels that way because your object of attention is happening when you feel the emotion. So it feels like that emotion is caused by that. But we're wanting you to understand that without meaning to, you've created an emotional grid that the details are filling in around. And that you have the ability to change that emotional grid, and then different details will fill in around it. Good time for a segment of this one.